So welcome, Neha, and thank you so much for agreeing to do this with us. And it's really a pleasure that you're able to come here and share your experiences about your journey into the IIM. And congratulations on that. And definitely, it's been quite a few months since you have been into the institution. So I'll go ahead and ask about your background first, and then we can dive into more questions, which can get to the mentorship part of the interview. So tell us more about yourself. Where are you from, and where did you study your bachelor's?
Sure. Um, so I've been born and brought up in Pune. I completed my BTech in computer engineering from Vishwakarma Institute of Technology, Pune. I completed my BTech in June this year itself, and here I am now pursuing MBA from IIM Indore.
Awesome, awesome. Uh, so just on a personal side of things, right? You've been in Pune and you're raised in Pune. So what kind of influence your childhood has had on your experiences through your academics, be it through school, through VIT, and how has that helped you get in and crack the CAT and get into the IIM?
Sure. So my childhood has definitely brought me here today, wherever I am. My parents have always made me realize the importance of excelling in whatever we do, be it academics or extracurriculars, since I was in elementary school. So, and also they've always believed in me, supported me in whatever I've done. So that gave me the confidence to work hard towards my goals. I also was the topper in my school in 10th standard, and that also gave me a lot of confidence in myself that I can do whatever I want in the future as well. And it also helped me crack CAT um, and helped me come here today wherever I am.
Awesome. Awesome. So I think you've already answered my next question, which was about the skill sets you need to, crack one of the most toughest examinations. You said you've been competitive, you have been, one of the toppers in school. Do you think you've missed out any skill sets which helped you get here? And if that is the case, which one would that be?
I think the most important, more than a skill set, you can say it is a characteristic that I think helped me crack CAT was being optimistic in almost every situation. So I really believe that whatever happens, happens for a reason, and you have to take the best out of that situation and just be hopeful for the future and give your best in the present moment. So I think that was a very important characteristic that has helped me come through uh, and do well in CAT.
Awesome. Awesome. Very good answered. Uh, so, ever since the pandemic started, and I know you've been preparing your CAT preparations since then, how did the lockdown help you get to your preparation? So just because now that we are coming out of COVID, not everybody will have the privilege of sitting at their home and in the lockdown and study all the time. Maybe they'll have to do all the other things which you normally do in your life. What was the special influence of the lockdown on your preparation?
So lockdown really helped me a lot because it gave me so much of time. Also, the college being online in those times, it saved a lot of travel time, a lot of time that would have been spent going out, hanging out with friends. So overall, I got a lot of time for myself. So not only was I able to give enough time for study, but also for my own personal like well-being, mental, physical, both.
So I guess we've talked about your introduction, we've talked about your background. I just want to specifically go into the next section and ask you more about how your experiences has been so far in the IIM. So being in one of the top management school in India, tell us how were your CAT score, tell us how were your bachelor score. You mentioned you were one of the toppers in school. So was that the same analogy in bachelor's, and then that helped you in CAT?
So starting from my 10th score in 10th, I scored a 95% in CBSE board. 12th was slightly on the lower side. It was 87% in HSE board. And in BTech, I scored a 9.26 CGPA, and CAT percentile is 99.37. So all the IIMs have different weightages to these scores. Personally, for the IIM Indore selection, they don't consider BTech score. So the 10th and 12th was enough along with the CAT score to get me through.
So very well answered, Nian. I think your scores really talk a lot about your, your academic achievements. So just, I'll come back to, what should somebody do if they don't have any scores and, any such scores later on in the mentorship section. But for now, I just want to ask you that when you started your MBA at IIM Indore, how were your initial few days, and what did really surprise you as a student, and be it academic or in the campus?
Sure. So till now, my experience has been really great. So my experience started with online mode. It was really hectic in the beginning. A lot of committee selections, club selections going on, and also classes starting. And it was all very new for me because the kind of teaching in IIM Indore is very different. Like nothing like what we have experienced in undergraduation and schools. So there, most of the teaching is done by the teachers. We hardly have to do anything. But here, it's completely the opposite. Eh, Like 90% of the work has to be done by us. We have to go to class, reading all the cases and doing all the homework and going to class because otherwise you will be completely lost. So 90% of the things have to be done by us, and teachers are only there to guide and streamline and just teach the basic concepts. So in terms of academics, it was really different, but I enjoyed all the subjects a lot. And I'd never actually been so attentive in any class ever before in my life. So that really showed me that I am on the right path. And it was just a great experience. And
Awesome.
apart from academics, as I went to campus, the campus is really beautiful. And um, like just going on late night walks with friends, studying together in groups. It has been a really great journey just in the 2, 3 months I've been there.
Awesome. I'm sure everybody's been, missing that factor because of COVID and, because of the pandemic, nobody's been able to go back to the campus. I'm glad you were able to do that. And I'm sure you'll be more excited for the next semester as well. So just because you said you were so attentive in the class and you were always, paying attention to what the professor is saying, tell us about what is the difference between the professors who teach at the IIMs, their teaching method, their talking method, their example citing, etc., as compared to any regular college, you might say.
Yeah, so the major difference is the case-based method of teaching. Uh, we get to experience somehow a part of a business decision that is being made. It's like you are a part of the business and you're going through that phase of decision making. You have to really understand all the data you have, how you would actually react if you were in that situation in real life. And it's really like not difficult to relate to those cases because a lot of the cases have really well-known companies and brands. So some like recently we've been doing cases on like Starbucks and everything. So
Mhm.
it's really interesting also because we have been seeing such brands in our day-to-day lives, but what goes on behind those brands? How are those created? So I think that is the major difference. And teachers are definitely they're experienced. They know how to streamline our discussions. Classes are mostly based on interactions between students and less of the teacher teaching us things. It's a lot of discussion based classes. So it's just really good.
Great, great. Very well answered. I think that's one of the methods where, you kind of talk about the company through the in and outs and then present a problem. And then you guys come up with a solution as a team or maybe an individual. So I think that really gives you a sense of being in that authority. And for the future CEOs, the managers, it's a really great example to teach. Moving on to the third section, I just want to know, you've currently, just being through the summer internship experiences, and you've been through the placement, placement procedures. Tell us about what was the most important aspect you think, which was required while, trying to apply as well as to interview and, talk to the panel in the interviews.
Right. So I think while applying, the most important factor is your resume, because that is the very first shortlist you will get. It is based on resume. So it's important to be able to display whatever you've done in your life till now and portray it in a manner that would be useful to that specific internship role. So whatever you've done, whether it is academics or it is internships or extracurriculars, you have to show the skills that are required by the company, that you must have displayed through those various segments of your life. So that is one of the important things. And when it comes to interviews, I think it really boils down to uh, your sincerity, honesty, and confidence. That's all, because the summer internship placement process happens very early on in the stage of MBA, and they know that you haven't learned so much of, like, you haven't gained so much of knowledge as of now. So they're looking for your mindset and your attitude mostly.
Great, great. Very well answered. I think meanwhile, when everybody talks about internships or placements at the IIMs, everybody thinks it's a very competitive process, and you have a lot of good talent there, and you have a lot of good academicians there. Moving on to the next question, which is very much in sync with what I've just asked. Uh, how do these actual interviews happen at the IIMs? We, as a very common engineering processes, we go through aptitude tests, then the group discussions, then the personal interviews. It could be divided into HR and technical. Tell us about what goes on at the IIMs.
Yeah, it's very similar. It depends on the companies. So majorly, most of the companies have a resume shortlisting, aptitude process. Uh, Depending on the role and what they are looking for, there could be GEDs, or there might be some other processes as well, group interviews or something like that. And interview is a part of each and every company. So it could be an HR interview, it could be a little technical, techno HR. So that it's mostly the process is like what happens in engineering colleges.
Okay, so it's very similar. It's not very different, and you don't expect a lot of other surprises too. So awesome, great. It's a good sign, and for someone who is a very fresh in the market, who is just graduated, probably even you are in the same boat. Just coming out of college straight into the IIM and then getting a job. Tell me what was different for a fresher, and what should be the preparation level for a fresher to get into to get into these companies.
Right. I think for freshers, since we don't have anything to show that we have worked in, so there could be internships, but those are short term and they don't really expect you to know a lot of technical things. They just expect you to know the basics of that particular domain. What matters the most for freshers, I think, is the attitude and the willingness to learn. So more than anything else, you should be willing to learn what comes ahead, and if you show that in your interview, I don't think there's anything that will stop you from getting selected.
Yeah, makes sense. Great. Just along with that, just what you've answered, I'll pick up one hint from that, and I'll ask you a question that, being one of the youngest candidates with not much of experience, when you were trying to give interviews for the same companies where you have people with 5 years of experience, tell us what made it, how different was it, or did you feel that pressure on you?
Definitely, that phase is really very difficult to go through. You realize how many people around you have the advantage of having WorkX, and it makes you anxious about getting shortlisted even, and also getting selected later on. But I think when companies shortlist you, they see something in your resume. Even though you don't have WorkX, they see something in you that has made them shortlist you. So it's important to just forget about everything else and focus on preparing well. The preparation, basically, they'll just see how much, like how sincere you have been in your efforts throughout your journey, uh, academics, extracurriculars, everything. If you have internships that are relevant, it will definitely be an advantage. You can talk about that as well, and how that has helped you realize what you want to do and why you want to get into that specific domain.
Thank you, Neha. Thank you for all the answers you've given us. And I think all the sections were great. You've spoken a lot about your experiences, your preparations, and all. Now I want to go and talk about the most important aspect about the mentorship. And when you talk to people currently studying in the engineering colleges who are trying to aim for the IIMs, trying to ace the CAT, what was your strategy? And before that, if you want to tell us about what's the correct timeline to start, when should somebody start preparing, what should be the timeline of preparation, and then if there should be coaching or just individual studies.
So I think the timeline would depend on the person's existing level, that how prepared he is, how his basic concepts are. So if you think that you're good enough, you have the basics in place, I think not more than 8 months will be required. But if someone is starting from scratch, it might take longer. And for some people who are really good at maths and logical reasoning and English, it might even take less than 6 months. So I think it's important for every person to assess themselves where they stand and accordingly decide how to go about the preparation.
Awesome.
Apart from that, I think CAT is mostly about how much you understand, how good you can think logically, how good are your problem solving skills, how good you are at time management. So these are the major things that CAT tests you on. So I think you have to understand where you stand in each of these parts and prepare accordingly. Whether you want to join coaching or not totally depends on how much time time you have, how dedicated you can be while preparing. It's very important preparing individually to maintain that consistency, and it's not easy for everyone to do that, to manage the time. So in those cases, I think it's better to join coaching, especially for those who are working. It's difficult for them to really manage everything well. So for them especially, it's better. Since I had a lot of time, especially because of COVID, I didn't really have to join coaching, and I could do it without coaching. But it depends on how much time you have for giving to preparation.
Now was there in the preparation strategy, was there a part where you kind of went back to the old CAT exam papers? And I'm sure you've done that. Was there a part where it surprised you that, hey, this is too difficult for me right now and I'm not even prepared? And did it demotivate you at some point, or was your preparation strategy such that when you even solved your first X CAT paper, you could do, you could get most of the questions?
So I gave my first mock very early on. So I was hardly 2-3 months into preparation. So definitely I was not completely prepared. But it is important to give mocks whether you're prepared or not, because you will never feel fully prepared. So that shouldn't stop you from giving mocks. I scored decent even in my first mock, so that definitely gave me the confidence. But even for those who are not scoring well initially, you can prepare well, you can understand where your strengths and weaknesses lie, analyze the mocks you're giving, and prepare the plan accordingly. So mocks are just for understanding yourself and how you can plan your preparation ahead. So because in the end, what matters is CAT. Finally, nobody's going to look at your mock scores. They are only for your growth.
Makes sense. Yep, absolutely. Just because we have talked about the timelines and when should somebody start coaching, should be done or not, tell me about if somebody really wants to join the coaching, just because the pressure created by these classes is so much that the CAT is a very difficult exam, and you cannot do it without our preparation material, without the mock exams. If someone like you, now because of the pandemic you decided not to join the classes, tell me, if somebody really wants to do it without the classes, is it worth giving a shot with that preparation strategy, or will the coaching classes help in certain way?
Coaching classes mainly help you get the material together. So I had to really spend a lot of time finding the right resources. So if you don't have that much time, then it's definitely better to join coaching. Uh, I had to give at least like in the last 6 months, I gave at least 7 hours every day. So not everyone will have that kind of time. So a lot of time from that went into looking for the right videos, looking for the right material to prepare. So
Right.
coaching helps in that sense, definitely.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Uh, I just want to give a comparison perspective to whoever is going to watch this. When you decided to give the CAT and you decided to pursue MBA in India, I'm sure GMAT would have been a lot easy for you, considering your scores in CAT and your preparation level. Tell me, what was the point where you decided you just want to keep going with the CAT and give MBA and do your MBA in India, irrespective of like you could have done GMAT and then targeted for some Harvard or Stanford or UPenn, something like that. So why did you choose an option in India?
So, as per my knowledge, I think to get admitted to a good MBA program in US, I think you need good work-ex. And since I had decided that I want to do MBA immediately after engineering, I didn't really assess the US option that well. So also IIMs are like including IIM Indore, they are topped among they are ranked among the top B schools globally. So I thought that it was worth doing MBA in India also, and I wasn't willing to wait for 2-3 years before joining MBA. So that was the reason I chose MBA in
Awesome.
India.
Uh, so do you think that WorkX and then coming to MBA in India doesn't really matter if you're doing an MBA in India, and just because you're a fresher, you could immediately go for an MBA? Do you suggest there's not much of difference doing an MBA with or without WorkX?
I think MBA with WorkX definitely does help, not only in terms of placement, but also I think they have a better perspective of how the corporate world works, and
Mhm.
maybe they can relate better to what is being taught in class, like the cases, since they come directly from businesses, companies. So maybe it does help them. But also as a fresher, also there's no disadvantage as such. If you're definitely like sure that you want to maybe change your career path, or you don't want to get into whatever undergraduation field that you have done, so it's okay. There's no hard and fast rule that you have to have WorkX, but it does help in certain ways.
Awesome. Very good. Is there anything you would change looking back at your career, whatever you have done so far? Up till the IIM admission, is there anything you would change going back in the past? Anything you thought was probably a wrong decision in your career?
I don't really think I would have changed anything, because so a lot of people say that my BTech degree might be redundant since now I'm pursuing MBA. But I think it gave me the ability to think analytically, logical thinking skills, and also gave me the knowledge about evolving technologies, data science, machine learning, cloud computing, IoT. And they are now at the core of almost all the businesses. And MBA will just further help me understand how to think from a manager's perspective. So bringing this all together, I think it will really help me in my career, and also get the kind of job roles I want to work in. So I don't think I would have done anything differently if I had to do it
Awesome.
all over again.
Just you spotted the right point that you probably want to just your preparation in the past will give you a chance to get into the right job role, and which is why you wouldn't change anything much because you've got the right exposure to all of these domains. My next question was exactly that. What do you plan yourself to absorb through the IIM experience in the next 1.5 years, whatever is left with you? What's the right kind of role you will be targeting for yourself, and what is the most important learning you'll take with yourself through the IIM?
So I think now what I'm looking forward is, of course, gaining knowledge, and more importantly, applying it maybe in my internship, maybe through some live projects. Uh, Also, I'm probably looking forward to combining my undergraduation knowledge with my current MBA knowledge. Probably some role like something into analytics, probably. So that is what I'm looking forward to doing. And apart from that, of course, soft skills, I've already seen myself evolve a lot. Uh, Maybe 2 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to talk on such a platform also. I've already developed my communication skills. I've gained confidence, and I'm just looking forward to even enhancing it further. And of course, experiencing hostel life for the first and hopefully the last time as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. I think we've covered a lot of things. You've spoken a lot about your experiences, what you want to gain. You've also spoken about your CAT strategy. For somebody who is 19 or 18 years old, who's just got into engineering or any other graduation, and would there be any kind of advice you would give, be it from a preparation perspective, or be it from why should somebody only look at IIMs? Or why should somebody just focus on one of the top MBA colleges? What would be your suggestion for the youth who's probably going to watch this and try to take some guidance from you?
Honestly, I think it depends on individual to individual, whatever the goal might be. Maybe you won't be targeting the top B school. Maybe you're looking for one of the top 50. That's also okay. It depends on like whatever your goal is. Just believe in yourself and more importantly, enjoy the process, whether it is preparation, whether it is going through your undergraduate degree. Just enjoy the process because that is what is in your control, the process, the results, whatever the results may be. It is definitely there's something great in store for you. And so don't worry about the results and just focus on the process.
Beautiful, beautiful. I think thank you. You've given us a lot of time and you've given us a lot of valuable insights from your experiences so far. I would just want to go ahead and wish you the best for your career upcoming in the IIM, whatever semesters you have left. And I'm sure you'll take out a lot of experiences, take it with them, and excel in your career. Thank you once again, Neha, for giving your time and spending your valuable insights with us. And I'm sure everybody's going to benefit from this.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.